Find something? Animal tracks.
Whoever is bitten by a werewolf and lives becomes a werewolf himself.
Oh, don't hand me that. You're just wasting your time.
What's going on, everyone? Great talent here, and today we're going to talk about The Wolfman. Oh, 1941. So yeah, I kept mentioning this movie in my previous reviews of Monster Mash Marathon that I'm having, little one here. Almost winding down now. I only got 2 films left in my Blu-ray box set that I'm going to be doing, the Essentials Collection. Wolfman here, 1941, starring Lon Chaney. Wolfman was really, really good. Not gonna lie, it held up well over the years. The story was very, very intriguing, just like Dracula. You had Bela Lugosi in it too as the gypsy, character, as well. Phenomenal performances all around. Very, very intriguing movie. The story of a man, a curse, a legend, a myth, folklore and whatnot. And Lon Chaney kind of starts off where he's just like, he's like a non-believer type thing, kind of carefree, ladies' man, all this stuff. Doesn't really believe in fairy tales and folklore and all these superstitious nonsense. And you can see the actor Lon Chaney, he kind of goes through such a transformation, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally. The state of his mind kind of is warped a little bit, where it's kind of he has an emotional transition and transformation as well as a physical one into the werewolf state, the Wolfman state, where he goes from this, like I said before, carefree, nonchalant, ladies type of man to wary, very wary and suspicious and paranoid and just fearful. Because he comes up a central believer, and with that believing comes a lot of heavy emotion, like I said, paranoia, fear, trauma, because he has no fucking idea what's going on. He's just because whenever he turns into the Wolfman after he got bit by the werewolf, he doesn't remember anything. All he remembers is he sees a little bit of hair form on his body, and then after that he blacks out and goes on a fucking killing spree. So, it's just kind of really just, it's a very unique movie in that aspect. The special effects with him transforming into the werewolf, they did a lot of stop motion where, they did a lot of makeup, great makeup work for the year that came out, 1941. Great transitions. You could tell it was dated, but the environments, the scenery, the fog, the mist, it does set the tone for the movie, which is very mid-European, villages, stuff like that, gypsies, all that lore and everything. Right up my alley. So that's all I could say. So it's a very eerie movie in that aspect. It's not as much as it has some there's little tiny scary moments, but not much. It's more of a thriller and mysterious type of movie. A lot of action, kind of, here and there. It does justice. Let me just put it that way. But now here's the big question. In comparison to Dracula, I keep putting that movie on a pedestal, how does it stack up? Okay, I'll be honest with you, folks. I thought it was gonna top Dracula, but it didn't. It's not going to for me, and I'll tell you why. Because honestly and truly, The Wolfman is a great movie, but Dracula, it still pulled me in. It sucked you in with the whole lycanthropy, lore and everything. Werewolves, pentagrams, people, turning into beasts, and wearing these charms to try and repel the magic and the fucking monstrosity and whatnot. But what it lacked, Dracula succeeded in for me, was the overall draw, because an attention with a lot of the performances in Dracula. I guess it might be Bela Lugosi, because anytime that man is on screen, he just has such a haunting presence, where you just are glamored by him, and he just sucks you in. Which is, I guess, why they chose to be Dracula, because Dracula vampires, they have that glamour, that charm that kind of mesmerizes you. Lon Chaney is a great actor. Don't get me wrong. I really felt for him during this movie, the trauma and the craziness that he went through. But I just feel like there wasn't enough scenes where he was the Wolfman. It kind of took a while. The movie's only an hour and 10 minutes long, but if that, maybe a little less. But it took him like over 45, maybe 40, 45 minutes to turn, maybe a 40-minute mark. He turned into the werewolf, Wolfman. And then from that point on, it was just little tiny things. It was, I guess they tried to consider the thought like less is more. But at the same token, I kind of wanted a little more of the Wolfman. I kind of wanted to see, or maybe I wanted more of the struggle to see, but you can't, the movie was just so short. It's like, how can you do that? But, in comparison to Dracula, it's just the tension was so thick. You could cut it with a knife between the actors. Van Helsing gave a great performance. The actor who played him, Dracula, was great, and it just maybe I don't know. Maybe I just like the lore of vampires more than Dracula more than I do what the werewolves at this day and age in my old age now. As I used to be reversed. It used to be I favored werewolves over vampires, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of still do in a sense, but. That's neither here nor there. With that being said, though, Wolfman is a good movie. If I had to score it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Which Dracula I gave a 9 out of 10, so it came almost there to beat Dracula for me, but not quite. So in my Monster Mash marathon, I'll say that the Wolfman is second, and Dracula's still number 1. Followed by number 3rd is probably going to be Frankenstein. The original 1931 movie. But no, like I said, I enjoyed this movie. I was in it to win it for the most part. I was engaged, which is the most important part. I wasn't bored with it. It had me with the lore. The lore is the most important part of any movie like this, when you have a lot of mystique going on, and a lot of mythological lore and tales to tell, like with the Dracula tale. Stuff like that. It's very interesting, it's very intriguing and immersive. And that's what you look for in movies like this. You want to be immersed. And Wolfman does it just almost the same as Dracula. Just Dracula, to me, had better performances, which is fine. I mean, it's not a game breaker, not a deal breaker there. So, if you want to check out the Wolfman and you don't have Blu-ray, DVD, or VHS, you can try checking out Peacock. Universal owns Peacock, so it might be distributed on there. Or you can rent it for like a couple of bucks on Amazon Prime Video. And with that being said, that is my micro review of The Wolfman on this episode of Rose Tinted Theater. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And once again, thanks for stopping by. The next episode, we will look at The Phantom of the Opera. Take care.